Good evening, friends. It's good to see you on this rainy Thursday evening here, and give a couple minutes just for folks to jump on here today. Hope everyone is doing well. I've heard from some of you that have been watching these videos fairly regularly, either in live in real time or later on, and that's great. We want to stay as connected as we can be during this time, and hope to just share a few words of encouragement or thoughts with you here as we gather together on a particular evening here. So if anybody has anything new that's going on, you can feel free to leave me a comment and let me know how you're doing, just so we can continue to stay connected through this particular time. We're hoping maybe next month that things will start to open up a little bit for some in-person gatherings, but we just don't really know right at this point what that's gonna look like. I was doing a video podcast with a friend of mine that's, by the way, going to be on our YouTube channel and my Facebook as well. If you're interested in something a little bit longer, we have a half an hour discussion once a week about a particular topic from the Bible. Spent some time talking about it. So if you're interested in that, check it out. It's called Nick and Dan's Bible Study Podcast. And it's a good. I think it's a good discussion. I enjoy doing it. This is one of the passages I want to share that I mentioned today in our time. I think it's a good one. I think a lot about what it means to be a disciple of Jesus, what it means to learn from the master, from the teacher, and how we can think about that in our own lives. Let me read this for you. This is Luke chapter 6, verse 40. And these are the words of Jesus. He says this: "The student is not above the teacher, but everyone who is fully trained will be like their teacher." The student is not above the teacher. That's pretty obvious, right? But this is more interesting. But everyone who is fully trained will be like their teacher. And again, sometimes we don't think about being like Jesus. We think about the gap between ourselves and Jesus. Jesus being God, right, in human flesh, God incarnate, and having a lot of ability that we don't have. But his teaching here says that when we are fully trained, when we're mature as his disciples, that we should be like him. Well, what does that mean to be like him? It means, I think, right, to act like he would act, to treat people the way that he would treat people, to respond to situations and challenges the way that he would. And so it really is, I think, in life, when challenging things come up, that it kind of peels back the layers of us and we can see a little bit more into kind of where we're really at. That we can kind of, again, put on a little bit of an act and show and maybe pretend that we're more mature than we really are sometimes. But when things get tough, the reality kind of exposes itself. I see that like as far as Bible stories go. I think of in the Garden of Gethsemane when they come to arrest Jesus and Peter pulls out his sword, right? And we're told that he cuts off the ear of the high priest's servant. Now, is that what Jesus did? No. Is that what Jesus wanted him to do? No. Remember, he said, "Peter, put away your sword." That's not what we're doing here. And, we could think of any number of examples, but the way that we respond to things in life, right, reveals kind of where our discipleship is at. And here he's talking about the student being fully trained. Well, none of us is really fully trained, right? But where are we in that process, right? That's how it's tested. Like if you're on a sports team or if you're an Olympic athlete or even, a high school athlete, we can practice on the field. We can practice and do drills and things as much as we want. And that gives an indicator. But then when you get in the game, right, that's the true indicator of how that practice and how that training is gone. And when we join the armed forces, the Army, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Navy, Coast Guard, whatever, right, you go through all kinds of training for for battle time situations, but you don't really know how well that training has worked until you get in that situation where the pressure is on. So for us, really, situations maybe like right now or other circumstances in our lives kind of gives us that indicator, right, of how trained are we in the ways of Jesus, right? It's not just about knowing stuff. It's not just about knowing Bible verses. It's about how much we've taken it in, right? How much we've apprenticed ourselves under Jesus so that we can respond to things the way that he would want us to, the way that he would. And I mean, the good news is that some of us are probably going to be pleasantly surprised with how we respond to things. But the other good news is even if we're not, it's always the opportunity for growth. When Jesus's disciples messed up, when they didn't get things, when they responded in a way that wasn't the way that he would have wanted them to respond, he didn't necessarily, beat up on them. He used it as a teaching opportunity. So this is an opportunity for us right now, either to show hopefully some level of maturity in the way that we respond to challenges, but it's also an opportunity for us to grow to kind of that next step or that next level from wherever we're at right now. So I see a bunch of folks have jumped in here as I've been talking, and it's good to see all the names. Pork and sauerkraut, I see. That's not so great. Linda, and it's good to see Tosh here and Charlie's tub time there. So reading these comments here, it's good to see y'all jumping in. And to those who are watching later, hello to you as well. We'll see you again tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. Have a great night, guys. Bye.